What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about episode 4 of Hard Knocks in Season Indianapolis Colts edition. But before I give you guys my thoughts and just some notes I have written down about this episode, if you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon, that way you're notified whenever I upload a video or go live. If you like this video, smack the like button and let me know down below your thoughts on the episode, some things that stuck out to you in this episode, and also, if you have a Twitter, make sure you click the link in the description down below. That will take you to my Twitter, horseshoe_pod. Make sure you follow me there. So overall, I enjoyed this episode a lot. Obviously, it wasn't my favorite episode because this was the Tampa Bay game episode. Watching the Tampa Bay stuff wasn't fun, but everything leading up to that game, I really enjoyed. Again, I love watching the behind the scenes, how teams operate, how they prepare for other teams. I say this every week. That is something I'm always fascinated by. I love watching all that stuff. Obviously early on in the episode, we had Darius Leonard, he was on his phone. And they put this out online already, but watching it again, he's on his phone. He runs into the wall as he's walking pretty slow. I thought that was pretty funny. His reaction to it made me laugh quite a bit. So that was a pretty nice way to start this episode. Also, while they respected Tom Brady, it was also pretty funny to see them making fun of his age. They were joking like, oh, he's 137 years old, but he's playing like he's 35. I mean, I thought that was pretty funny. Clearly, they respect Tom Brady like any team in the NFL would. Like, they really, really respect the guy. But they're still having a little fun, they're having little jabs at Tom Brady, so that was pretty funny to see in this episode as well. In every episode so far, they focused on specific players. So in episode 1, it was Carson Wentz and Darius Leonard. Episode 2 was Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner. This episode, it was Kenny Moore, and I really liked that Kenny Moore got the spotlight this week. You see him, when he's off the field on his own free time, he's spending time with kids, hanging out with them, doing activities with them. I thought that was really cool, and it made me really like him more than I already did, and I love Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is like in my top 3 favorite Colts players on the roster at this moment. I absolutely love Kenny Moore. And something that really stood out to me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, was Kenny Moore's story about him and Mason Garvey. You know, Mason Garvey and Kenny Moore, they got close, they were good friends, and he sadly passed away from cancer at the age of 9. But what really stuck out to me and made me really appreciate Kenny Moore more than I did already, and I had so much respect for him, and I really appreciated just the man that Kenny Moore is. You just see, just with what you've seen, on Twitter and just, out and about, you hear so much about Kenny Moore that is so good, and I love Kenny Moore. I've never heard anything bad about him. But what really stood out to me is he's still close with Mason's family. Because he didn't have family around on Thanksgiving, he went over to Mason's family's house and had Thanksgiving dinner with them and spent time with them. He didn't have to do that. He could have just went to a friend's house, maybe go to another player's house and just spent time with them, but he decided to spend time with the Garveys, and that really stuck out to me, and it really hit me hard just watching that episode, as I'm sure it did with a lot of you guys. And honestly, Kenny Moore is probably my favorite player on the Colts now. I absolutely love Kenny Moore, so I really did appreciate that they really did focus on Kenny Moore this time and didn't, focus on somebody else. I felt like Kenny Moore deserves the spotlight. Kenny Moore, to me, is one of the most underappreciated defensive players, even though he's insanely talented. So I'm really happy they decided to focus on Kenny Moore and, just spent time with him. I think that it's going to really make a lot of people like and respect Kenny Moore more than they probably have already, which I'm sure a lot of people really respected Kenny Moore already before even hearing about Mason and his story and just seeing what Kenny Moore does on his free time. And then, obviously going back to some of the other players, you see the receivers, they're shooting hoops in there. And that was, obviously fun to watch. You enjoy seeing, these guys come together, have a good time. You never want to see players on the same team not have a good time with each other. They're having fun, they're playing basketball. Ty hitting that last shot with him going nuts, that made me laugh. That was a lot of fun to watch as well. And then of course, we see the whole team, they're handing out food, and I thought that was really, really cool to see as well. But then we get to Sunday, the unfortunate day where the Indianapolis Colts lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, we see before the game starts, you have Frank Reich and Bruce Arians. They're hanging out together, kind of talking for a little bit. They just showed a brief moment of them talking. But I like the story that Bruce Arians was telling Frank Reich, where he's like, "Hey, I grew up a Colts fan. They were in Baltimore, and I grew up being a fan of them. And I was heartbroken when they left Baltimore for Indianapolis." I thought that was a pretty funny story that Bruce Arians had for Frank Reich. And then, of course, seeing good old Lenny before the game. He meets up with Frank Reich. Frank's talking to him. You could tell how much respect he has for him. And then, of course, seeing Jonathan Taylor just fanboying out to him. That was really, really cool. And, it's nice that during the Colts game, they did a nice little honor for Lenny. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But then we get to the heartbreaking part of the episode, and that is reliving the Colts and Tampa Bay game and seeing how close we were to winning that game. But what Frank Reich said, I think was really, I think it's true, during the post-game talk that they had, right? So they're talking in the locker room. It's after a game, and Frank Reich did point out something. He's like, "Hey, we really hung in there with defending champs, and we made a bunch of mistakes that we could have avoided, and if we avoided those, we would have beat them." Like he said, "Hey, look, yeah, it sucks to lose, but you guys played good enough to really stick in it and almost beat the defending champs." So I thought that was a nice little thing, a nice little pep talk. But he's right. We're in December now. That's where the best teams really show how good they are, and we're gonna find out, man. Unfortunately, like I said, Colts lost that game, but I think these last few episodes, 5 episodes I believe are left before the postseason. They're gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really, really fun to watch those. So there you go, guys. I enjoyed the episode quite a bit. Obviously, not my favorite episode again because of the Tampa Bay game, but I thought everything leading up to that, the Kenny Moore story, just seeing them preparing for the game, all the things I talked about in this episode outside of reliving the Tampa Bay game, I enjoyed quite a bit. But thank you all for watching. If you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever I upload a video or go live. If you like this video, smack that like button. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Let me know, did you like the episode? What were some things you liked? What were some things you didn't like? Let me know all that down below. And again, if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There is a link in the description down below that will take you directly to my Twitter. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.